One useful verse is better. 101. Though there are 1,000 verses, consisting of quite useless words, better is one word of a verse, hearing which one is brought to peace. The one who conquers himself is supreme. 102. One may speak 1,000 verses, consisting of quite useless words. Better is one verse of Dhamma, hearing which one is brought to peace. 103. One may conquer 1,000 men, 1,000 times in a battle, but having conquered one's own self, one would be supreme in battle. The one who conquers self cannot be defeated. 104 to 105. Conquest over self is better than that over other people. For the one who conquers himself, who lives constantly well restrained, neither gods, nor Gandharvas, nor Mara together with Brahmas, can turn conquest into defeat. For a person who is like this, worshipping those worthy is better than alms. 106. One might give alms impartially, with 1,000 coins of money, month by month for 100 years. And one might worship someone with developed self for a second. That worship is surely better than the 100-year sacrifice. Worshipping those worthy is better than sacrifice. 107. One person might care for the fire in the woods for 100 years. And one might worship someone with developed self for a second. That worship is surely better than the 100-year sacrifice. Worshipping the upright is better than alms or sacrifice. 108. Whatever the alms or the sacrifice, one seeking merit may give for a year, that is not a quarter of the merit. Better is the worship of the upright. The benefits of worshipping elders. 109. For the one who is constantly worshipping honorable elders, four things increase: the length of life, beauty and happiness and strength. One day of virtuous living is better. 110. One might live for 100 years, unvirtuous and uncomposed. But one day is better, for one with virtue and meditation. One day of wisdom is better. 111. One might live for 100 years, lacking in wisdom, uncomposed. But one day is better, for one with wisdom and meditation. One day of striving is better. 112. One might live for 100 years, indolent, with less energy. But one day is better, for one with energy set up and firm. Better to see rise and fall. 113. One might live for 100 years, without seeing rise and fall. But a life of one day's better, for the one seeing rise and fall. Better to see the deathless. 114. One might live for 100 years without seeing the deathless state. But a life of 1 day's better for one seeing the deathless state. Better to see the supreme state. 115. One might live for 100 years without seeing the supreme state. But a life of 1 day is better for one seeing the supreme state. The one quick in merit prospers. 116. Hasten to do virtuous deeds. Ward off the mind from wickedness. For the mind of the one slow in merit delights in wickedness. One should be restrained from what is wrong. 117. Should a person do that which is wicked, he should not do it again and again. Let him not place his intention in it. For suffering grows for the wicked one. 118. If a should person make merit, he should do it again. Let him place his intention there. There is increase of happiness for the one who has made merit. Eventually all get what they deserve. 119. The wicked experience good fortune, while the wickedness done does not ripen. But when the wickedness ripens, then the wicked will experience wicked things. 120. The fortunate experience wickedness, as long as the fortune does not ripen. But when the fortune ripens, then the fortunate experience good fortune. Do not despise wickedness. 121. One should not despise wickedness, thinking, it will not come to me. Through the falling of water drops, the water pot is quickly filled. The fool, gathering bit by bit, soon becomes full of wickedness. Do not despise merit. 122. One should not despise one's merit, thinking, it will not come to me. Through the falling of water drops, the water pot is quickly filled. The wise, gathering bit by bit, will soon become full of merit. Avoiding wickedness like poison. 123. Like a merchant on fearful path, with few friends and great wealth, as one loving life would avoid poison, so should one avoid wicked deeds. The one without a wound. 124. If there is no wound for him in his hand, he can carry poison. Poison does not enter without a wound. There is no wickedness for the one who does not do wrong, offending the inoffensive. 125. One offends against the inoffensive, a purified and passionless person. That wicked deed then returns to the fool, like fine dust that is thrown against the wind. The destination according to kind. The destination according to kind. 126. Some are reborn in the womb, but those who are wicked in the underworld. The righteous go to heaven, those who are pollutant-free are emancipated. There is nowhere to hide from one's deeds. 127. neither in the sky, nor in the ocean, nor after entering a mountain cleft. There is no place found on this earth where one is free from the results of wicked deeds. There is nowhere to hide from death. 128. Neither in the sky, nor in the ocean, nor after entering a mountain cleft. There is no place found on this earth in which death does not completely overcome one. Comparing oneself with others. 129. Everyone trembles at the stick. Everyone is in fear of death. Comparing oneself with others. One should not hurt or have them hurt. 130. Everyone trembles at the stick. For all of them their life is dear. Comparing oneself with others. One should not hurt or have them hurt. The desire for happiness. 131. One who harms with a stick beings, who also desire happiness, while seeking happiness himself, won't find happiness after death. 132. One who harms not with a stick those who also desire happiness, while seeking happiness himself, will find happiness after death. Do not retaliate. 133. Don't say anything harsh, spoken, to they might answer back to you. Arrogant talk brings misery, and they might strike you with a stick. 134. If you make no sound like a gong, that is broken, this is like one who has attained nibbana. Contention is not to be found. Life is driven out by old age and death. 135. Like a cowherd with stick drives cattle to pasture, so do old age and death drive life out of beings. The fool suffers through his deeds. 136. The fool does not yet understand the wicked deeds he is doing. The stupid one is consumed by his deeds as by a burning fire, the fruit of unjust punishment. 137. Whoever offends with a stick, those who are inoffensive and harmless will quickly fall into one of the following 10 states. 138. Harsh feelings and loss of his wealth, and the breakup of the body, or even heavy affliction, or surely he will lose his mind. 139. There may be danger from the king, or slander that is terrible. He may suffer from loss of kin, or from the destruction of wealth. 140. Also his houses may be consumed by flames and fire, and at the death of the body that foolish one will arise in the underworld. Asceticism is not enough. 141. Not nakedness, matted hair, mud, fasting, lying on stony ground, dust, dirt, or striving while squatting, can purify a mortal who has not removed uncertainty. Character is all important. 142. Even if he were to adorn himself, but is peaceful, trained, settled, spiritual, and has put aside the stick, he is a Brahmin, an ascetic, a monastic. The restrained are aware of their faults. 143. Whatever person in the world is restrained by conscience, and is aware of his fault, is like a good horse that is restrained by whip. 144. Like a good horse restrained by whip, you should be ardent and intense, having faith, virtue, energy, concentration, investigation. One who has understanding and good conduct, also mindfulness, will surely abandon this not insignificant suffering. The mild straighten themselves out. 145. Course makers lead water. Fletchers straighten arrows. Carpenters straighten wood. The mild master themselves. One must seek the light. 146. Why this laughter, why this joy, when the world is constantly burning? Why, when enveloped by darkness, you still do not seek for a light? The body is unstable. 147. See this beautified mannequin, a heap of sores that is raised up, sick, imagined in many ways, which has nothing stable or firm. The end of life is death. 148. This body is worn out, a nest of disease, perishing, putrid. The body comes to destruction, for the end of life is in death. Why delight in bones? 149. Like discarded white gourds, thrown away in autumn, are these gray bones. Seeing them, why is there delight? What lies hidden in the body? 150. This fortress is made out of bones, plastered over with flesh and blood, but hidden within lie old age, death, also conceit and anger.